the Dame Giannis pairing is just going to end up being another disappointment pairing of stars. Like, it's just, I thought I was going to like that. And I think you and I were both on the same page with this. Like, once they attained him, like, ooh, this is going to be this is great, right? You got the perimeter star that can really still get, and it's not like Damian. The craziest thing is they're both having outstanding seasons. You go look at their numbers, and Damian Lillard is having a great season for a guard, and Giannis Antetokounmpo was having one of the best seasons of any NBA player, and it brings me no joy. Like, it might be two players that I love. I loved both of those guys. And then you put them together, and it's just never taken in the way that I thought it was going to take. It's not fun. And I really thought it was going to be fun. Like, they are simultaneously able to be awesome, right? But now they've kind of changed some of the window dressing around them. Obviously, they need, their full complement, which even includes, like, Bobby Portis shouldn't be that important, but he is. And, like, and it's like, I don't know, man. I think that when they got Damian Lillard, I just thought that we were going to look back and it's like, oh, wow, well, you got to face Dame and Giannis. And nobody's talking like that right now. Like, I watched the Pacers work the Wolves tonight, and I'm like, damn, man, I don't know if the Bucks are getting out of the first round if they got to play this team.
I asked Taverstro on Friday who's most to blame in that situation. Like, why is their offense 16th? Why do they have the 16th best offensive rating with Giannis and Dame? 16th.
How?
What do you think?
How?
Who is most to blame? Is this a Doc Rivers problem? Is there a Giannis issue here? Is it a Dame issue? What do you think?
I think the chemistry has never been great.
With
you
Giannis
watch
and
them
Dame.
still, yeah.
But is that Doc's fault or is that Giannis's issue with the screening?
I think part of it is the way they play, and part of it is I think that. I mean, I don't think Damian Lillard never wanted to be there. Everybody knows that.
He wanted to be in Miami,
right? He probably will next year, right?
And he didn't come in the last season in shape. He was totally out of shape.
Yeah. And then obviously was busted up at the end of the year. And then like, we didn't really communicate over the summer and whatever. It's like, I don't know. Like, there's so much that goes to, the only fun things you see are, Giannis, slinging Glorilla in the background when Dame's trying to do interviews in the locker room or something. But, like, when is the last time you remember seeing, it's just never, and maybe it's just personalities. Maybe it's, who knows, right? That Lillard was so used to being the man and being the most beloved guy in the world in Portland. I mean, I still love both of those players individually, but I watch it and even this year, there were moments like when they ran through in that in-season tournament and they busted up Oklahoma City. I was like, there it is. And then it just tapered off again. And so I wanted this team to be good. I wanted this team to be, a team that I look at when it comes to the playoffs. And look, I say all this. If they beat the Pacers and then beat Cleveland, it wouldn't be the craziest thing ever, considering they have one of the best 5 players in the world. They still have that, right? And maybe they just don't give a crap about the regular season. That's a possibility that I'm at least holding out there. But in terms of those two together, I thought that combination would be so much more joyful than it has been. In fact, two of the most likable, in my opinion, players in the league, and yet that team has brought me virtually no joy.
Yeah, I mean,
and I don't think it's brought their fan base is frustrated as hell.
No,
it's so weird.
Yeah, and I think as part of it, like they have to trade Chris Middleton. He's not quite the same. Kuzma,
right? Bring
him in for defense, but it's a clunky fit. Nothing seems to be working perfectly here. Haverstraw had talked about Giannis' screening and how weak that is. I know Bobby Portis is out, but I'd still, when he does come back for the postseason, I hope to God we're seeing a lot of lineups that switch everything. Giannis at the 5.
Yeah.
Need more of that. You need him to commit to screening. And with Doc Rivers, I still think the offense is in part Giannis with the screening. He wants to slow things down. But with Doc, it's been years of a lack of creativity here.
Just, bro, how do you never see Damian Lillard turning the corner and lobbing it up and this guy just tomahawking it on somebody? It's not even part of anything.
And like, if you look at Dame's screen numbers, his last year in Portland, it was like 14 or 15 off-ball screens per game being set for him where he'd receive the ball. And in Milwaukee this year, I think it's 4 or 5. It feels like Dame never gets the ball in motion. It feels like everything is stagnant. Everything is slow. Like even the way they get into their sets is slow. The team lacks chemistry. And that's why, yes, as you said, you can't dismiss them entirely because they have Giannis. They have talent. Who knows? Maybe they get hot in the postseason and make a run. But you can't put them at 0%. But it's pretty close. It's a lot closer to 0% than it should be, considering this large sample we have at this point where it's like, okay, I have very few reasons to trust in this team other than the theoretical idea of what they could be.
That's right. And I'm playing both sides of the fence, but the prediction is that it will just end in a disappointment that I would have never predicted it ending with, which is like them not even sniffing a conference finals as a tandem.
Well, one of mine was about the Bucks.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I had them flaming out and making major changes.
Oh, wow.
This offseason. What those changes will be, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll be Giannis asking for Doc to be fired or asking for Dame to be traded or asking to be traded himself. But I would expect there's going to be some major changes there. With Doc, real quick with him, did you see the quote he had to Mark Spears? Did you see this? Okay. Mark Spears interviewed Doc, and Doc was asked about some of the blown leads of the playoffs, the 3-1 blown leads, and many that he's had over the years. And Doc says, this is the exact quote, "No one tells the real story, and I'm fine with that. It's unfair in some ways. I don't get enough credit for getting the 3 wins. I get credit for losing. I always say, what if we had lost to Houston in 6? No one cares. One of the things that I'm proud of is we've never been swept. All the coaches have been swept in the playoffs. My teams achieve. A lot of them overachieve, and I'm very proud of that." Are you kidding me?
No, he is kidding you. He does this every year when they lose. I've heard those before. He did that in Philly when they lost.
But it's never any accountability.
No.
Ever.
No. Remember? Ever. Oh, who was it that got in big trouble for, was it J.J. Redick, who's now the coach of the Lakers?
Yeah.
Got in big trouble for calling him out on that, right? On TV.